Good morning, Patriots. As you're coming on, say hi, where you watch it from. This is Mike Cook, the Patriot, coming to you live from Central Missouri. And again, as I look up into the camera and the lights, I see a glare on my glasses. I should wipe that off before we start, but I never do. How are you doing today? It is Saturday. It looks like it's going to be a beautiful day in Central Missouri. I hope it's beautiful where you're at. Got myself my steaming hot cup of coffee. This is my second for today. Hope you got a good one with you. For whatever it is you enjoy drinking in the morning. I mean, it's 5 o'clock somewhere, right? I hope you are having a great day. Today, we're going to talk about some interesting happenings around the world. Do me a favor, if you're watching this on the UBTubes, go over, hit the subscribe button, the bell, comment on there, hit the little smile, the little thumbs up deal, because that helps the algorithms and stuff. And I need all the help I can get because they're squashing me. And go around and follow me on the other pages. It's all Patriot Mike or Mike Cook or something along that lines. Mike the Patriot. Rumble is where I upload every one of these videos, and so far they haven't taken one down like the other places have. If you're watching me on the Facebook, please like, comment, and share this video. Don't hit the frowny face. That kind of squashes it. I know some of this stuff. Oops, that was the wrong one. That's a joke about Coca-Cola that I forgot to take down. Oh, yes, well. Anyways, moving right along. Hope you guys are having a great day. Please follow me, especially on Rumble. I'm trying to promote Rumble because I think that'll be my last bastion. When I do the videos, I use a third-party system. That's how I get the, let's see, there it is. That's how I get that stuff on there. That's how I'm able to put banners and stuff like that. Like, I'm able to put banners across the bottom. The problem is my internet can't support it right now. And if you can see, it's glitching already, having just that little bit on there. So I haven't been doing that. But we're going to change that very shortly. I got an appointment for the end of next week to get new internet, which is, 600 times faster. Got to pay a little more for it, but boy, that'll help. I'll tell you right now with the service that I have, and I'm not going to call any names, but your cell phone pretty much operates at 12 megabytes per second download and 1 or so megabytes per second upload. Well, that's what DSL pretty much does too. Only my modem wants to be at 2 download and 0.01 upload from time to time in the middle of me live streaming. I'll check it before I go live and it'll say 10.5 or something like that. And then it'll just tank. That's why all of a sudden you're saying to me, your words ain't lining up with your mouth. Yeah, it's because my internet sucks. And there's nothing I can do about that with this particular company. So I have to switch to another company. And that's in the works. So hopefully by this time next week, I can do downloaded video. I can do high definition. I can do graphs and all kinds of live animations that I'm not able to do right now because my internet just can't support it. Anyways, moving right along. Hope you all are having a great day. Just checking the comments there real quick to see what's going on. Okay. So what's happening? Did y'all hear that Joe Biden bombed Syria the other day? Did you hear about that? Yeah, the difference between Republicans and Democrats, the color of the wings on the airplane. So Joe Biden's bombing Syria. Only as I got to reading about that, it didn't make any sense to me as to why Joe Biden would be bombing Iranian forces in Syria when he's so, excited about giving Iran money and allowing them to make nuclear weapons and entering into a new accords with them and forming an alliance with them. And, he shunned Israel and didn't call the prime minister for a month, but he wants to kiss and make up with Iran. So why are we bombing Iranian forces in Syria? So anyways, this person says the same thing. Do I understand correctly? On one hand, the Biden administration is bombing Iranian targets in Syria, but on the other hand, the Biden administration is desperately trying to resurrect the Iranian nuke deal. Does that make any sense to you? I mean, what's going on here? So Donald Trump Jr. posted this, and it was somebody saying Kamala Harris was not informed prior to the bombing and is very upset about being left out of the loop. You mean that Joe Biden, who was the one who stood, the one lone dissenter, he says he's the one lone dissenter when Barack Hussein Obama and Hillary Rodham Clinton decided to take out Osama bin Laden. He was the one in the back of the room going, I don't think it's a good idea. You mean this Joe Biden, the one who is always on the wrong side of history throughout his political career, this Joe Biden, the one who can never make a decision, wants to be on both sides of the aisle, wants to, cover all the gaps. This Joe Biden made a decision to bomb Syria and didn't inform Kamala Harris. Well, Donald Trump Jr. says, was Joe Biden even informed? That's a good question. You see, because everything that I'm reading kind of says that maybe it wasn't Joe Biden, that maybe Joe Biden is not in charge. But what do I know? It said Trump ordered the strike, and oh boy, it's going to be a long night. So, hey, I'm not saying that's the way it was. I'm just saying, I got questions. I mean, let me ask you this. Is anybody watching me right now, any of you trolls out there watching me, have any of you seen any footage at all, still shots, camera footage, whatever, press corps lined up outside going, Mr. President, Mr. President, Mr. President, at the White House as Joe Biden's boarding Marine One? I don't hear any answers. I'm just asking the question. That's just something that actually just popped in my head as I was texting back and forth with a friend of mine about this very subject just before I came live. Has anybody seen that? Huh. So it's got me, kind of flustered. I just wanted to bring that up, that why is Joe Biden bombing his allies in Syria? It just don't add up to me. Other than the fact that the deep state may want a war in the Middle East because, well, it's profitable. So then there's this one. National Guard on standby in D.C. for March 4th, the day QAnon believes, and there's no such thing as QAnon, there's Q, and there's Anons, or anonymous, followers believe Trump will become president. I don't believe March 4th is going to be of any significance. I know a lot of you are counting on that day going, yes, he's coming back because it's constitutional, 19th president, I get it. I understand what you're saying, but I'm not a QAnon person. I am a listen to the prophets person. I believe in God. And one of the things that God kept saying repeatedly from several of these different prophets, including Kim Clement and Mark Taylor and several of the others, is I am unconcerned with your calendar. That means I'm not setting any dates. God, he's given a timeline. He's given a prophetic timeline, and we've talked about that in some of my videos. Go back and watch some of my older videos. We've talked about that. It has nothing to do with March 4th. So this is put out there. National Guard on standby in D.C. March 4th, the day QAnon followers believe that Trump will become president. Well, now that is not accurate if you follow QAnon because they don't believe he ever was not president. But we'll move on from there. This was put out on one of the QAnon, one of the anonymous, not QAnon, pages. It says, a serious warning for Anons. Stay away from any event being held on March 4th. Stay the hell away from Washington, D.C. March 4th unless you work within a 10-mile parcel of foreign armed territory. If you don't know what he's talking about there, DuckDuckGo. Stay the hell away from your own state capitol or government buildings on March 1st unless you work in a government building. Something potentially cooking, and we don't want to be part of any of it. See something, say something, but don't go looking for trouble. January 6th insurrection accusation plus lies has fallen on its face, and they need their FF, which means false flag. The deep state, are cooking something up. They're telegraphing what they're going to do. They're expecting something, and even if they have to make it up. So March 4th is going to be an eventful day, but I don't think it's going to have to do with Donald Trump. They're trying to quash this whole thing. They're trying to push it down. They're trying to make it go away. I just find it interesting, the things that are happening. So I was mentioning Kim Clement a minute ago, and I just want to play this small section of Kim Clement in one of his prophecies, because I got something coming up that I think you'll find interesting. Just listen to this.
This that shall take place shall be the most unusual thing, a transfiguration, a going into the marketplace, if you wish, into the news media, where Time magazine will have no choice but to say what I want them to say. Newsweek, what I want to say. The View, what I want to say. Trump shall become a trumpet, says the Lord.
Okay. Newsweek, Time magazine, The View, the media, the MSM will say what I want them to say. What I want them to say is what God is saying through his prophet Kim Clement. Now, as I watch the news here lately, we have seen nothing but this barrage from the evening news magazines, 2020 and Dateline and whatnot, about QAnon. They can't stop. Since the beginning of February, they can't stop talking about QAnon. Well, last night, Anderson Cooper, he did his little show. Oops, wrong one. Let's see. He did his little show last night about QAnon, and he put a lot of stuff out there. And like this says, Anderson Vanderbilt, meaning Anderson Cooper, was so busy explaining it wasn't him on the pedo art that he totally forgot that people don't know what pedo art is until now. Now, what he put a bunch of images and trying, because part of the conspiracy out there is that he was abused as a child, and that some of the pedo art that's going around on like Hunter's laptop or Hillary and Uma's laptop or stuff like that is him as a child. And he's trying to debunk that. But in doing that, he put images on the screen. This is screenshots, that picture down on the bottom right. And I intentionally didn't enlarge this because some of this stuff is disturbing. It's a picture of it's a picture of his family, supposedly, with a satanic cult picture behind the bed there. And then they put these pictures on there. This was all on the CNN Anderson Cooper special last night. So what they're saying is he was so busy trying to say it wasn't real, that it didn't happen, that he forgot to realize that most unpilled people, most people who haven't even considered any of this, don't even know that this kind of stuff exists. And yet here it is. Let's see who's sending me a message. Make sure it's not Facebook telling me they shut me down again. I wouldn't be surprised, especially with that last one. Better not put that one back up. So they also they played some prior Q drops that was referencing Cuomo's COVID response, which is happening right now. Everybody's waking up to realize that Governor Cuomo put all of these convalescing COVID patients in nursing home, killing thousands and thousands of people that needlessly didn't need to die. And not only that, but several other governors did the same thing. So he's they're laughing about it. They say it's a big conspiracy theory, blah, blah, blah. That's cool. I understand it. But what he's doing is he's introducing it to people's minds that have never even considered the concept. What is pedo art? What is going on here? What is this all about? They don't understand. People all over the world will be researching the satanic evil information presented here, despite how it was meant to be interpreted. They're exposing themselves in a way you never could. So he's out there throwing up these pictures, throwing up these information, suggesting things that a lot of people who haven't really looked into it had never really considered. And all of a sudden they're seeing it on their TV right in front of them. And it makes me wonder when Kim Clement said that these news outlets will say what I want them to say. God is moving in the marketplace of the media and making them say what I want them to say, he says. They're exposing themselves. They're laughing about it. They're saying it's some cracked out conspiracy. However, they're introducing the entire concept to all kinds of people who've never even heard of it. You know, they should know better because they're from Hollywood and they know that the standard in Hollywood for 100 years has been press is press. Whether it's good or bad is irrelevant. As long as your name is out there, you're valuable. You see where I'm going with this? There's a reason why all this is coming out. There's a reason all this is happening. And God is in control of it all. And something big is coming very soon. Very, very, and there's so many different things happening on so many different fronts. I don't even know which way to go with all this. Let's just see what happens here. So, Patrick Bryan, he come out the other day. He's the Overstock.com or whatever. He's a billionaire guy. He had some stuff out there about Trump and trying to discover the cheating. Anyways, he says, he posts this. It says, the Fed has discontinued the M2 money supply measurement. Now, why would that? Why would they do that? Well, there's another one. The M1 has increased by 350% in the last year. The 77.78% of the M1 came into existence in the last year. Now, these are sites that track the money supply. What kind of American US dollars are floating around? And what they're saying here is that the supply of money is in the last year, the amount of money circulating, being printed, is up 350%. And see, they shut this down because there was a graph on this that went something like this. And right here in the last, it starts out here in 2000 or in the early 1900s, and you can see it kind of just climbing a little bit like this. And then it gets to the year 2000, it goes like, it's straight up. Well, that graph is gone. They don't want you seeing that graph because they're printing money like there's no tomorrow. Why is that? Why are they printing money? Did you all notice that the media was reporting on Wednesday and Thursday how the interchange between banks controlled by the Fed crashed? And then for several hours, there was a glitch that prevented that from happening. Oops, wrong one. This is the one I want. It says, analysts could not pinpoint the reason for the sharp move, but at least one ruled out a short squeeze that had fired the Reddit rally in January when amateur investors piled into stocks and hedge funds, and the hedge funds had bet against. Some Twitter users cited factors including option trading and the resignation of GameStop's chief financial officer. GameStop US led shares soared by 104% on Wednesday and were halted several times in the rally that began at 1930 GMT, and they jumped another 85% after hours. German shares of cinema operator AMC Entertainment, another stock favored last month by individual traders on online discussion forums such as Reddit's Wall Street Bets, jumped 41%, following an 8% rise in the stock on Wednesday. Whoa, what's going on there? What's that all about? How come all of a sudden those stocks just started jumping up? What's that about? Well, here's a graph. This is the GameStop that shot up at approximately 230. You see it just kind of cruising along, and then all of a sudden, boom, it just shoots up right at 230. What's going on there? Well, it's a GameStop stock and other meme stocks shot up through the roof today. Why? Because the Federal Reserve Infinity Money hack stopped working. What's that? The Fed pumps infinity money into Wall Street banks and hedge funds in order to keep the average American poor. The system is called Fedware. And when it went down, like magic, all meme stocks started to launch to the moon. The Fed is exposed. The word needs to get out. GameStop didn't kill itself. The Fed did it. I edited that last word out of that one. And then there's this one. What if an AI algorithm controlling a short ladder market scheme was running on the same complete cluster that happened to be tied to the managing banking payment system, the one that collapsed, the one that had a glitch that quit working? What if said banking payment system went offline? What if said AI algorithm had been tamping a stock down for weeks, say GameStop? What does control theory tell you what would happen to if you remove the downward pressure in a feedback loop? So what they're saying is that when the Fed system was turned off because of a glitch, all of a sudden these stocks started climbing through the roof. That's interesting. You know what else happened? Listen to this. Let's see here. Let me refresh it. I apologize. For some reason, it didn't pause, and I don't know what it's playing now. So let me refresh that. So the GameStop stock and even some of the metals markets were climbing yesterday for a time, and then they went back down once the Fed turned their system back on or became unglitched or something. I'm waiting for this thing to load. My computer is slower than Pondwar. I'm probably glitching right now trying to get this to load. I need new internet, by the way. If I'm glitching, I apologize. It is what it is. So while this is loading, let's see here. This is the U.S. Securities Exchange Commission. Is a large independent agency of the United States federal government. It was created following the stock market crash in the 1920s to protect investors and the national banking system. Primary purpose of the SEC is to enforce the law against market manipulation. It was founded by Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Isn't that a quinkity? Right around the Great Depression. Never let a crisis go to waste. Where have I heard that before? So is this helping or is this creating new problems? And this is not, here we go.
Issues up and down the East. They've been saying the problem was discovered at a...
Okay, let's try it again. I apologize. Having technical difficulties.
Issues up. Be released.
Come on, man.
Around North Carolina. Fixed.
Never mind. Okay, get rid of it. I'll just tell you what they're saying. They're talking about how there was credit card glitching going on all over the East Coast Wednesday and Thursday. All the way from Boston to Atlanta, credit card processing wasn't working. Let's find that interesting. Why would that happen? I'm looking right now at it gives me a notification when my internet is lagging, and I apologize if it's lagging. It is what it is. I can't do anything about it till I get the new system. That's the wrong one. That's talking about the mainstream media. This billion-dollar industry doesn't think Q is real. Talks about Q daily. Won't shut up about it. That's right. It's running it down to the ground. I was going to show you a couple more videos, but it doesn't look like, or play a couple more audios. Doesn't look like that's going to happen at this time because of my internet. So we got manipulation in the market that's by the Fed that's being totally exposed. This is what's this is why the GameStop stock that went up on a short squeeze that caused companies start losing a lot of money. Well, to protect the big boys, the Feds moved in and started dumping a bunch of money into those stocks to drive it down. That's these guys. Oops. These guys. The SEC, the Fed, the Federal Reserve, working together to crush you and make a bunch of money for their friends, their allies, whoever they are. Think about that. Let me ask you a question. I know in a couple videos months ago, I had said to take out enough cash that you could get by for a couple of weeks. If you have to pay your mortgage, your car payment, your gas bill, anything like that, just, food and necessities, gasoline for your car, gas bill meaning heat bill, but gasoline for your car, how much money would you need cash? Take that out of the bank, put it in an envelope, put it under your pillow or someplace safe. I told you to do that months ago because I said, what would happen if your credit card stopped working? Most people nowadays don't carry cash around with them. You know how many people come in and get a $12 tire repair at my shop and don't have $12 in their pocket? And all they have is these little plastic cards. What happens if the card machine's not working? What happens if the card machine's not working anywhere? Not at your bank, not at the ATM. What if the bank's not open Monday or Tuesday or someday next week or next month or next year? And you don't have any cash. But you need groceries. Now, I understand that cash is a fiat currency. It may not be worth anything anyways. But it don't matter because the money that's in your bank doesn't mean anything either. Take some cash out, have it on hand. While you're at it, buy some silver. I mean, I'm not a broker or I'm not a registered. I don't know anything. I'm not a smart guy, and I didn't stay in a Holiday Inn Express last night. But the silver market is really, really weird. Hasn't moved much at all in weeks because the same thing that's happening to the GameStop is happening to the silver on both sides. It's a war going on. Difference is they can manipulate the GameStop by creating new stocks, by creating futures, by trading them back and forth real fast with their AIs. But if you're holding silver in your hand, it's silver in your hand. There's only so much of it. Or gold. Silver's easier to buy right now than gold, by the way. It'd be interesting in the very near future where this is all going to go. But understand that we are being played by the big guys. And they were exposed the last couple days when their system shut down and everything started going on its own. You remove the Fed, you remove the money supply, and all of a sudden these stocks start shooting through the roof. Infinity money. Isn't that an interesting name? Infinite money. Wouldn't it be nice to have infinite money to help you sustain your money-making opportunities? We are in an interesting world today. Interesting world today. Keep your eyes open. Look around at what's going on. The media is exposing it. Now, they're laughing at it, but they're exposing it. The Fed is in trouble. The fiat currency systems of the world is in trouble. Did you see that Russia, Putin just removed the ruble from the fiat system and put it to a metal-backed system? Did you see that? Why did Barack Hussein Obama and Hillary Clinton go after Gaddafi? So good questions that you probably should find the answer to. Benghazi was not about a video that made some people mad over in that neck of the woods. There was a whole lot more. And I think all that's about to come out. There's a whole lot going on behind the scenes. There's a whole bunch of stuff being exposed to people. This was on CNN last night. There's a whole bunch going on. And there's one thing that it's all about. And things about to get real. Remember that Kim Clement said God promised joy in the spring. The spring's almost here. I heard woodpeckers yesterday morning in the trees. That's a sure sign the spring's on its way. So with that, you guys have a great day. I'm going to jump off here. Know that God is on the move. No matter what, God is on the move. He's in control. He's in charge. It's his world, and we're just along for the ride. And what a ride it's going to be the next few months. You guys have a great day. I will catch you later. I probably won't do anything tomorrow. I'll be at church and whatnot, but we'll see you Monday. Talk to y'all later.